Vermont Studio Center's Learning in Art and Culture program began in 1992 as a response to the loss of state funding for the arts in our local primary schools. Teaching this art program with the support of through the Vermont Studio Centers as a wonderful, really great resource. Because my love is painting, and but the art program really incorporates all art forms. By having the resources of the international artists and the residents throughout the United States come in, I'm able to teach, show them wood carving, batik making that I learned from an individual from Indonesia, calligraphy writing, calligraphy drawing, different forms of printmaking. The program provides the 230 students of Johnson Elementary School with weekly, hour-long, hands-on arts instruction by Vermont Studio staff artist Arista Alanese.
Just try once, so it's got a bit of texture from the straight line, and then just keep going. Straight up. Okay, now roll again. Go on the other side. Side if you want to do the top as well. Now I think that's enough, don't you? You happy? Pretty good. You got your name on? There you go. Hang that up.
This is a really great program that I've had since kindergarten, and it's my favorite class. And I love every project that we do in there. It's just really great.
Okay, I'm Eddie. I'm from Indonesia. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is my work.
We introduced shadow puppets.
Almost influence from.
And we took the shadow puppets and we did a puppet show for the younger kids where there were snakes and dragons and butterflies.
Yeah.
And our group, we made a crane so it would flap its wings and everything.
And so when these artists come in with different backgrounds, it's really something to see the child's eyes light up. Or just that how the world is really huge. And sometimes they don't speak English very well. And they're kind of nervous, and I'm always like, don't worry about it, it's going to be okay, it's a visual. Students visit Vermont Studio Center's Red Mill Gallery and resident studios. Participate in question and answer sessions with professional artists and writers, as well as in visual arts and creative writing workshops in their classrooms and on Vermont Studio Center's campus.
Reading in front of a group of people in that structure, other than having read in a small group like a course or something like that, I've never given a reading, and so I need to push myself to do something. And as a teacher, I think it's really important because every time I do something that I'm not good at or not confident at, I think it reminds me of what it's like for my students, because we're constantly asking them to stretch themselves and to try new things.
In 2008, the program expanded to offer creative revitalization residency fellowships to Vermont visual art and English teachers. These fellowships offer teachers the opportunity to immerse themselves in their creative practices, mentorship by Vermont Studio Center's distinguished visiting artists and writers, the option to share their work with the public, and to network with the 55 other artists and writers in residence at Vermont Studio Center. During the school year following the residency, the fellows develop new curricula that draws from deepened relationships to their creative work.
What I'm trying to do is teach them not only, what does a studio artist do, but if art is something that you're going to do as an adult later on, what's that going to look like? And start visualizing that now. I mean, if you're an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old, it's important to sort of have that in the back of your head. I had no idea when I was a little kid what the actual practice of an artist looked like because I didn't have exposure to anybody like that. I mean, I had exposure to people that were doing, maybe watercolors at their dining room tables or paint by numbers or, craft, but not that studio art thing. And so for me, I just think that I wish that I'd had that when I was a kid. And so to expose my students to that kind of studio practice now has been, I think, really important.
It turned out to be this magical time because, well, the Studio Center provided desserts, and at one point the residents from the Vermont Studio Week came in and the place was crowded and people were talking about my work and who's the artist. I felt like a celebrity, really. And it was really amazing. Now that I look at this work, I actually am, what's my next show?
I did do a reading. In fact, I did my first ever reading here the week I was here. I'm a very nervous public speaker. That might sound unusual because I'm a school teacher and I'm in front of the students all the time. But it's very different getting up in front of a group of people and reading your own work. So I almost didn't read a poem, and the other residents really encouraged me to do that, and I did, and it was a really important step in my self-development, I felt.
Each year, Vermont Studio Center hosts the Lamoille North Supervisory Union District-wide Art Show. The event offers the whole community, students, parents, teachers, and community residents, an opportunity to celebrate the artistic endeavors and creative potentials of the young people of Lamoille County. What's unique about the Johnson Elementary School art program is that the art program is about the process. Spontaneity, the enthusiasm, their imagination is coming through it in the projects. The way I set up the project is to show that we're all individuals and they're painting both inspired from nature, from the landscape. The one is interpreting it more representational, one is more from the inside. And so I kind of always try to leave it open so a child in the room doesn't, kind of know which children are going to gravitate towards the abstract and those kids that are going to gravitate towards the representational. So I always try to leave it open for all the children to be reached.
And Arista was able to just consume her right into that artwork, and from kindergarten until 3rd grade we saw her just develop in her artwork, but also self-confidence. When you're walking into the fine arts that we do at Johnson Elementary and she looks at her picture and people are saying, wow, look at that, you just see her face just light up, and it's amazing. And that's what I think is so special about the art program, because it's not just for those who are naturally talented to develop, it's for those who think, I can't do that. Yes, they can. I've even learned that. And I think Arista does a very nice job. Art is fun. You can be yourself. You can create.
I wish we had a little bit more time. We've got to be on a bus in about 2 minutes. But what do you think? Was this worth coming to?
Yes.
Yeah? What did you like best about it?